In the quiet heart of Abuja, a silent storm was brewing. Inside an office that manages Nigeria's topmost security secrets, the office of a national security advisor, a shocking plot was taking shape, a plot that, if successful, could have changed the face of Nigeria overnight. The alleged mission to assassinate Nuhu Ribadu, the national security advisor to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Welcome back to Newsroom Nigeria. It's me here again as always, Oluwayomi Temilola. This is Newsroom Nigeria, where we dive deep into the hidden layers of power, politics, and truth behind the headlines. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so that you get notified each time we upload a new video. Because this morning, this story is not just about a man, it's about how close Nigeria may have come to the edge of chaos. Now let's meet the Squadron Leader S.B. Adamu, service number NAF 3481 from Jigawa State. An Air Force officer recently posted to the National Counter-Terrorism Center, or NCTC, one of the agencies under the Office of a National Security Advisor. He arrived just 4 weeks before an alleged coup plot was discovered, and according to a report from the cable, his assignment was not administrative. It was allegedly detailed, and I quote, to take out Nuhu Ribadu. Yes, to assassinate the man who stands at the very center of Nigerian security structure. This is not rumor. This was an allegation that came directly from sources familiar with the ongoing military investigation. Sources who claim that Adamu has since been cooperating with investigators. What made it even more suspicious was this. When the coordinator of the NCTC, Major General Adamu Gaba Laka, requested a different officer to fill that position in August 2025, his request was denied. Instead, the Air Force quietly posted this particular squadron leader to the office. That single decision, that small administrative move, may have been the seed of something much darker. Shortly after Adamu's posting, the security community began whispering whispers of a bigger plan, not just an assassination, but a wider infiltration within the ranks. The alleged goal to destabilize the chain of command and ultimately topple the Tinubu administration. If true, it means elements within the armed forces had gone rogue, working against their own commander-in-chief. President Tinubu later sacked 2 service chiefs, including Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, which fueled speculation that the government had detected the signs early and quietly began to purge. But here is where it gets deep. Defense headquarters publicly denied any attempt. They said, and I quote, the ongoing investigation of 16 officers is a routine internal process to ensure discipline and professionalism. Routine? 16 detained officers, one of them allegedly sent to kill the NSA. My people, how routine does that sound to you? To understand this plot, we must understand the man, Nuhu Ribadu, former EFCC chairman, a fearless anti-corruption crusader, a man who took on governors, generals, and godfathers alike. Ribadu has spent decades making enemies in the military, in politics, and among corrupt elites. He has been poisoned before, forced into exile, betrayed by allies, yet here he is again, sitting at the heart of Nigeria's most sensitive office, the NSA seat. And that makes him both powerful and dangerous to those who strive in the shadows. Some analysts believe this plot wasn't just about removing Ribadu, it was about cutting off a president's intelligence eyes and ears. Without Ribadu, the Tinubu government wouldn't have been exposed, blind to threats both within and outside the country. So whoever masterminded this, if it's true, wasn't just planning an assassination, they were planning a collapse to collapse Nigerians' National Security Command from the inside. Now let's imagine for one terrible moment that the plot had succeeded, that Nuhu Ribadu had been taken out, that the chain of command fell into confusion. The first 24 hours would have been chaos. The office of the NSA would be silent. Coordination between the Army, Navy, Air Force, and the presidency would freeze. The president would be vulnerable. The coup plotters would begin taking strategic positions, cutting off communication, seizing media stations, declaring martial authority. Within 48 hours, Abuja would have been under lockdown. Social media would explode with fake information, confusion everywhere, civil unrest would spread. Nigeria would have entered a state of emergency, the constitution suspended, and the dream of a stable democracy gone, just like that. You see, coups don't just replace leaders, they reset nations violently, suddenly, and permanently. Our fragile economy, already struggling, would collapse overnight. Investors would flee, the naira would crash, and the streets would run with panic, not policy. And you, the ordinary Nigerian, would wake up not under a democratic government, but under the boat of uncertainty. But let's step back a bit. Why are coup whispers becoming frequent again? From Niger to Burkina Faso to Mali, West Africa has become a belt of instability. Each coup starts the same way: quiet discontent within the barracks, a few disgruntled officers, political interference, and before long, boom, another interim government. Could Nigeria have been next on that list? Maybe, but the system reacted fast enough to contain it, at least for now. Yet, this story exposes a dark truth. The military is still politically restless. Decades after democracy returned in 1999, the ghost of coups still lingers. And that's the scariest part of it all. Because if a chain of command can be penetrated this easily, if an officer can be sent to assassinate the NSA, then we have to ask, who is really guiding Nigerians' democracy? Now, let's be very fair here. Not everyone believes this was a real coup attempt. Some military insiders insist this was just a disciplinary case blown out of proportion by the media. They, they argue if it was truly a coup, the government wouldn't have stayed this calm. No emergency address, no lockdown, no visible arrests, just investigation. But others, including several security analysts, disagree. They say this quietness is proof that something serious happened, that the government decided to contain it quietly to avoid panic and international embarrassment. So here is where we are. One side says no coup, the other says an aborted coup, quickly suppressed. Either way, both sides agree on one fact: something unusual happened within Nigeria's military structure. So I'll throw it to you all. Do you think the alleged plot was real? or just politics in uniform? Drop your thoughts below in the comments section. I'll respond to all of them. And if you're watching this far, don't just scroll, hit the like button. It helps this video reach more Nigerians who deserve to understand what's really happening behind closed doors. If this plot teaches you anything, it's that standing up for reform in Nigeria comes with a price. Ribadu's survival, both literal and political, symbolizes a thin line between reform and retaliation. It also sends a message to those in power. You can't keep building a house of democracy on a foundation of secrecy. The Nigerian people deserve transparency, justice, and above all, stability. Because every time a coup is whispered, hope trembles. Every time a plot is uncovered, faith in the system weakens. But every time truth prevails, democracy breathes again. So let's stay alert, let's stay informed, and let's keep demanding accountability from the barracks to Asurok. If you value fearless storytelling, smash the subscribe button, share this video with your friends and family. Let's keep this conversation alive in the comments below. My name remains Oluwayomi Temilula, and this is Newsroom Nigeria, where truth meets courage. Until next time, stay safe, stay sharp, and stay fearless. I will see you all in my next video. Bye for now.